Today, na the 6th day of July 2021. Parliament done for debate the president in speech, where the president been go na parliament for the opening of the 5th parliament inside May. So, they done. When them be point one or two things, them will be in Canada, can't talk about them. So let us can close them. I don't think they go ever close though. But inside this talkway parliament, they talk about this speech. Then be able for Rob Motpa Black Johnson. Because we remember when Black Johnson be the trend on social media. Even on international news outlets them, you be get a lot of people they talk about Black Johnson. For say, Black Johnson way to then sell and give China. No, not to sell and sell them. No, na listen. Not to the entire place safe. No, na fishing nabo. Waiting na fishing nabo. The people and go get for benefit. All man be the taking. Then some people be the ask say, wait to. What in parliament they say about this Black Johnson? Eh? What in a parliament they own role? Inside this Black Johnson, where people in the talk about. We see Usai, the ministry were responsible, and do a video for explain about Black Johnson. Okay. So now all in one, now they do today. We go small bien yard. We come inside Black Johnson yon, and waiting be transparent at Parliament that day. Then we come out to the closing session. We hear some figures them, eh? From the opposing side. Then Honorable Tawa began for say no, and they not correct. After a long time, we Honorable Tawa not talk na Parliament. Then begin for get an opportunity for make it correct the figures them. An interesting one. Because then be don't left for the push Honorable Tawa. Say for go na do now na. Bien na they be decision. But thank you now. Honorable Tawa need for speak up. For correct the figures them where they play. Okay. As 98.1 Giwi, on a make you listen small, yeah?
The debate of the president in speech been start Monday, June 28th this year and been done Friday, July 2nd this year. This debate we member of parliament then do. Now for look inside President Bio in speech, where he make inside the state opening of the 5th parliament of the Second Republic.
Okay, now so it been be. It start to stem. It end Friday the 2nd. Well, I want push we go bien small. Small no more.
Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Cherno Abass Bundu, during the first day for make member of Parliament then begin look inside President Bio in speech, it been said it give 15 minutes each for make member of Parliament them contribute inside this debate. But for Wednesday, June 30 this year, the speaker same also be reduced the time from 15 to 10 minutes so that more member of Parliament them go able contribute inside this debate.
The speaker reduced the time from waiting from 15 minutes because we don't say na 15 minutes you go give. But then say, say them boko. So the speaker say, well, I'll make an 10 minutes so that more members of parliament them then go able for talk. Eh?
And anytime when that kind of debate here can happen, Parliament can invite ministry, department, and agency them for make them can listen and witness waiting they happen. And from Monday, June 28th, where this debate begin, plenty of the ministry, department, and agency no me show up. And this not concern. And according to the Member of Parliament for Constituency 048, Honorable Aruna Aaron Koma, say Parliament not for take this issue light and for take action against them.
Okay, let's hold on the first. This not to the first time we talk now about Parliament inviting ministries, departments, and agencies them for go na Parliament, where then they turn them back per Parliament. We get beaucoup example that we will go even show you. Even somehow we not the again na cabinet. Lekuda, the former minister of lands. Paso the attorney general come it retina. Before we get for go back na parliament. Eh? Even where he go na parliament, imagine where parliament invite, I not go. Then the attorney general tell and say the next parliament call if you not go, you go get problem. He end up go. Where you go, parliament go clap for him back. But they like it today. Pas only clap, but they like it today. Another day again. The bank governor na be another one. Parliament invite her, he no go day. Pass later on, where they want shake and small, now he go. In fact, na send self he been sent first. Eh? Beaucoup they way parliament they call it and they turn but now people that were there inside the game or to like ordinary citizens they don't get my interest. Cause hey ordinary citizen call you for going to parliament you make shumo say you go. You know what thing they come up behind there. But what thing they make them people there, the ministries, then department, then agencies, them. What thing can make them intend for look parliament that kind way they? Where parliament invites them not for go. They say the president in speech. Now, una the agencies there, una the ministry there, now una summarize, una give the president for go read. Yes, now una good work then. Now una hand over give the president for go read. So the president don't read. Parliament now want look waiting una give the president. The way parliament say, or they can't look waiting una give the president, who need una for dinner ya. They don't want it. Then choose them feel say other thing they way better for do pass for go na parliament. I don't know who side them feel say then sabi parliament in weakness so. We all time pass them threaten them first before they come. Okay, now continue. Let you rate in the MPC.
The continuous affront to the dignity of this house by the executive is becoming very, very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker.
It's said by the executive. The how they treat parliament. It don't become obvious and it's not fine when parliament invites them for me then can for can sit down and listen waiting then give the president. They not agree for goodie.
Remember when the debate started, the office of the clerk extended invitation for all MD heads to be here. And if you can see now within the gallery, you can realize that the attendance of the various heads is nothing to write home about. And I think it's high time this house took decision that is really going to forestall or to, in a sense of message on the appalling attendance of these particular MDs that are refusing to come when Parliament calls them.
For sake of this concern, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Cherno Abass Bundu, say na contempt if any ministry, department, and agency not attend the next parliamentary sitting.
All MDAs will be summoned to appear before this House, failing which they will be deemed to be in contempt of Parliament.
Okay. Like I said earlier, not to the first 10 this one. But until when the speaker can say, well, if they not come again, a contempt of Parliament, now the 10, you go see them come. So, then they get a most warning. Because I think if you've been invited, then you fail for come na contempt already. But anyway, I don't see possible to them no. Okay, I'll continue, yeah.
And this time around, we're going to enforce this Parliament. Look, let me tell you, the practical aspect of administration is what you are losing sight of. The executive can only function in a democracy when Parliament gives it a vote. That's the fact of life. If we do not appropriate money to the executive, then the executive is paralyzed. You know it.
There you go. They want only the grief for come. After the speaker don't say na contempt, it tell now the work of Parliament. And na that money side, na they go. For say, this one na they go and make kutu. Make una not forget to say the money they come out. The one they approve na they send call una so. Abass Bundu. I dey wait for the day una go call person wey no come. Una either hold am for contempt or, well, if in finance not be approved, it's not for him, it's for the people that he's serving. So I don't know how that one they work. But again, it go look bad on the administration. So now I make a think he puts an way there. See, now you get money, now you flex. So grip your money, you're not able to do what you do, and the one then way you for serve come out and begin for complain against you, then he not go look fine at your report card. Okay, I'll continue.
That's the power of the purse is with you.
We in the talk, the Member of Parliament for Constituency 086, Body Street, Honorable Nene Lebi say, with the Toma bomb, we President Biodon pull na do, that go make rest bokuna the country.
Na him begin Honorable Nene Lebi. Na him begin praise the Toma bomb project we President Biodon go pull na do. Good. One for see that they come to pass, so that at least the promise we then say the rest go dey utete. We able for say. But look how na him begin. Let us continue.
Sierra Leone used to export rice in particular. We used to cultivate rice in this country, and we used to even export rice out of this country. But thanks to His Excellency the President, because he has started to revive what we initially enjoyed in this country, and that is Tomabo. Tomabo, he has launched it, and I can assure this House that we'll get there. It's a process, and therefore, let us wait.
Yerio, let no can begin take and they run with him. Honorable Nene Lebi say, na a process. Tomabo, you get for serve we, you get for reach to decide where we they begin for export rest. But na a process. So therefore we need for wait. Okay? I just want for clarify that side there. We need for wait but na a process, but who they reach day. Anything we start, it must get ending. Not do so? Okay.
You cannot plant today and you reap the benefit of it tomorrow. You plant today, you know it takes some time. And
I don't know in what context he try for use that word today. So you need a plant today, you reap the benefit tomorrow. No, some planting the way you plant today, they reap and tomorrow. Even in terms of if you plant some money, even say they reap. But anyway, he say it takes time. It takes time. It takes time. How long? Me, I don't know. But it takes time. The only thing they don't tell we, let we wait.
Therefore, I want to give this country the hope that what has started will end up and it will end up well.
What has started go done and it go done well, where we all go bell full.
Honorable Nene Lebi, Member of Parliament for Constituency 086, carry on say, with the fish harbor we get for dinner Black Johnson, that's go make the economy grow fast and the country go develop.
Now ain't go to go that Black Johnson can inside. Because now the person we responsible for that area day. Yeah? He been forget to say this thing not gonna parliament it. But you know, we don't dey in that position for talk good things we don't they happen according to you. Because you don't talk but waiting the Toma bomb. Now I go draw the Black Johnson can inside. But you forget, no listen.
Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources will work with all stakeholders for the effective implementation of the fishing project. I'm stating this one, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, for this House to know the minister will soon bring this document to Parliament. I really don't want us to preempt what will happen after that. But I'm sure the reason why I've decided to read these last 3 lines is for us to know that when that document shall have seen the light of Parliament, the minister will definitely do the needful. You know, people are blowing this thing, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, out of proportion.
And see the area, eh? This number Black Johnson now. And I make it say, I ain't go cow the talk. I ain't go cow the talk now. Because you don't talk about Toma Boom, now I go cow the fishing harbor. Where, okay, apparently, I get for dinner Black Johnson. He say make people not preempt. No, begin thinking and so you get for be not to show. Eh? Oh, yeah.
They think if they bring this Black Johnson issue, that will create animosity and will stop this the minister or the ministry from going ahead with the good things that this fish harbor will bring.
He say they feel to say if they bring the Black Johnson issue na Parliament, then they go stop the good thing where Black Johnson project go bring to the country. Okay.
As soon as Honorable Nene Lebi don't talk about the fishing harbor we get for dinner Black Johnson, the Speaker be asked Honorable Nene Lebi for make sure say the minister bring this agreement na the well of Parliament.
The issue of the Chinese grant has been raised by previous speakers.
The issue of the Chinese grant, other speaker they don't talk about them. They don't talk about them. Eh?
And I want to exhort you, considering the provision in paragraph 7 of section 118 of the Constitution, that you advise the Minister of Fisheries to endeavor to bring the grant agreement from China so that it can be laid on the table.
We mean to say, all waiting we don't the issue Black Johnson officially not going to Parliament. Yes, there is a representative within a Parliament where now you walk that one day. The Honorable Nene Lebi will be the talk show. Now you walk. Yeah? For oversee the fisheries and all these things. Now you walk that one day. So a parliamentarian they will know. But the speaker, you don't hear in a way they talk say, it don't show on the provision within the Constitution way for make that agreement they go na Parliament. You know each day it. It they come. For more yeri but Black Johnson. Would it, who need to hear about himself again? Not to so? That's alone. But Honorable Nene Lebi say, he said the minister they come. When the minister they come? Soon. Okay. Waiting the speaker end up say.
Of this house without further delay.
Without further delay. This one was the place so now from last Wednesday na Parliament. By tomorrow 1 week don't go. Without further delay. 1 week don't go still. We hope say we not go just say come say they don't begin a Black Johnson without taking that agreement to Parliament. Because if Parliament is saying call people may go. President get in there. Okay.
Where the speaker may not ask Honorable Nene Levy for make sure say the minister bring this agreement to the well of Parliament, the Honorable may end up as sure say this agreement go can of Parliament before them begin start the implementation of this project and end up say this project can for better the country.
And end up say this particular project can for better the country. Before them begin anything, then go carry the agreement go na Parliament. Na Parliament in constitutional right for look within the insider agreement today. So if by any chance those projects start without taking that agreement to Parliament, okay. Well, on the closing, let me continue, yeah?
We aim in the talk but the president in speech. The member of Parliament for constituency 077 puts lock on this. Lukagbo say, from where this government take power, they don't trust 12.3 trillion leones where it's say not good for the country.
Yeah. Honorable Abdul Kagbo. Eh? Hey, constituency 077 Obalungi. 12.3 trillion. He say, nah, this administration don't trust. Nah, they don't trust. Now get the figures them, I'll continue.
When the president addressed this honorable house in 2018, he did say that he intends to put a ceiling on the borrowing of our country. When President Koroma came to office in 2007, for 10 years, our external debt grew from 2.5 trillion to 19 trillion.
No, Lande. Now can begin the comparison between 10 years of President Koroma and you want compared to the 3 years with President Bill done in our office. I begin. All right.
So meaning for 10 years, the previous government borrowed 16.6 trillion leones. I came to the conclusion that in 1 year, the previous government borrowed 1.66 trillion leones.
Well, not to so exactly happen, no, that 1.66 trillion leones where they talk about, not to so exactly happen, but in just feel to say, Ingo divide all within the government borrow externally, and he divide them by the number of years where that administration they begin a power. So now then it take break and down to that 1.66 trillion leones. Yeah? But we'll continue.
In 2020, when the government handed over at the end of 2018 to 2020, I came to the realization that from 19 trillion, our external debt has grown to 31.3 trillion.
In came to the realization from 19 trillion to 31 points. We're talking all these trillion leons. It's everything a trillion. Hey. Africa, Sierra Leone. It's a work in progress. Let's continue. Honorable, I hope so you get your figures then right too. Because if not, let's continue no more.
So meaning in 3 years, this government has borrowed 12.3 trillion leones.
Honorable Abdul Kagbo, member of Parliament for constituency 077 puts lock on this street. Carry on for talk about the thing them, where he say President Biombi promise Salon people, where up till now he say not happen yet.
Hi, Yanda Yon. Now listen, because Honorable say in get the list of the last time, not to this one, where the president be going to Parliament, the things that we be go promise, we say not even fulfill it for making can add more. Now listen,
These speechwriters have not been fair with the president.
Now not to the president, now the speechwriters. Okay, the speechwriters, who side they get their source from from the ministry, department, and agencies. Now, they then they get their source from. The speech writers, they don't just to go write no more. But anyway, now they write. So, Honorable, continue, sir.
They said in paragraph 58 that the president will construct one primary school in every section, one JSS in every ward, one SS in every constituency. It has not been achieved.
Okay. Dear, now so Honorable say, you don't see it happen? Waiting again.
In paragraph 53 in 2018, they said the president will build more classrooms to eliminate the two shifts. Up to now, we have the two shifts. In 2020, paragraph 41, they said the president will commission smoke oven, cold room, water facility for various fishing communities. That has not been done.
Yeah, that one they already talk so they don't do, huh? Continue, sir.
In paragraph 113, they said the president will give subsidy to all the youth in Belgium, youth in Swazi, youth in Lumley, youth in McKinney. They said they will give them money so that they will begin to import their own goods and own their own shops and businesses. In 2020,
I not be cake chops off that side you until we Honorable Abdul Kagbo they talk and so for give subsidies to so many youth to them. And for be the help for the help big time. Okay, but I nothing say happen yet too. According to what in the Honorable they say.
In paragraph 20, they said cabinet has approved 19.8 million for the construction of a national diagnostic and radiation therapy. Since 2020, nothing has been done.
Okay, this now other one again. It come under the healthcare system. Anything that happen? No. What? Continue, sir. Because I don't know why they did get them foot. If from 2020 where the president be good, these are all the promises that we be make, then nothing has started. Okay.
The plenty number we Honorable Abdul Kagbo calculate and show the country in debt and self-waiting the president talk where it say not happen yet. The member of parliament for constituency 132, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, after long term we in all debates in the parliament, no be waste time for respond to some of them here.
Yes, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte. They don't sideline down, they don't do everything in parliament. Then Honorable Abdul Kagbo Kana with some heavy bombshell. Who is going to save the day? Who knows the figure to save the day? The one and only Honorable Tawa Conte. Now he can save the day. Let we listen them where they challenge Honorable Abdul Kagbo for them figures the way he call. The figures them. Now they challenge them.
When we came in 2018, the stock of external debt was at 1,500 billion.
Okay, 2018, 1,500 billion. And the meter. According to now, Honorable Tawa. So you can get the figures.
Today, in 3 years, we've added 500 billion to it. So
he say now 500 billion, no more in the add. But Honorable Abdul Kagbo in say they don't add waiting 12.3 trillion and they don't add. Okay. These the numbers then they fly from every corner now. But Honorable Tawa, continue, sir.
It's 20. In 10 years, if you take these figures, 10.5 billion, if you divide by 10, it means year on year, the APC, we are adding 1 trillion and 5 billion to our debt every year. It means in 3 years, we have added per year 166 billion to the stock of national external debt. And let me correct this also, Mr. Speaker, for accounting sake. And the financial year of Sierra Leone starts from January 1st to December 31st. The economy of this country grew in 2016 by 6.3%. By the time this speech was delivered in 2017, on the 7th of December, that was tagged, promise made and promise delivered by His Excellency, former President Ernest Bai Koroma. Our economy has shrunk by 2.8%, meaning by the time we come into governance, the economy was at 3.5% growth rate.
In two now they read the numbers there. Because the Honorable Abdul Kagbo now first begin talk about all the numbers them. Now Honorable Tawa they correct the system. But again, all man defect for your head. So Uda na the mediator we go come now, go can't we say, okay, what you honorable to be saying too. Now show the numbers then be there, now show the numbers then be there. We not get civil society then we specialize in this area. I think we do, but where are they? For me, they can help we. So that we, if you're not able to convince me, not confuse me. So where are they for be the, okay. You know, say civil society back, it depends on which platform we team up. Honorable Tower, continue, sir.
Honorable Emerson Lamina, na member of parliament for constituency 030, Konodi Street. He say under President Bio in leadership, the country don't get plenty policy them for protect the mining sector.
Looking at the mining sector, that under the president, Julius Maada Bio, in 3 years, more mining companies are now here than ever before. That there was no
this young man, Emerson Lamina. Okay. Kono, into na de yeri. But something we no know. He say the mining companies they now with this saloon. They don't beaucoup pass ever. Hey. So are they mining? What are we getting? Why? I confused. I confused small. But this young fella, from where I see for CB, they try for pull another seat on place. Where he gets protection of parliament. And the Honorable Speaker of the House, they're able for make 30 days, don't they? Hi. Okay. Abass Lamina, continue, sir.
point in time in our history to have a large-scale mineral right holder in gold. The mining sector in gold used to be artisanal. For our weak women, they will suffer. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today we have a large mineral right holder in gold. First time in the history of this country that in 3 years the government has launched 3 mineral policies. And I saw the reason why my people have been poor, why the nation has not been benefiting much, because policies were not there. Mr. Speaker, in 3 years, the retired brigadier, under his astute leadership, and under his astute leadership, we now have artisanal mining policy after 90 years.
Okay. No, come at this policy first. Eh? Yes, we have the policy. Saloon, black and white. I don't tell you now, say, think of something where you feel, say, for make a country better. Go na saloon. Ask them, is it black and white? Having it is one. Implementation na our problem na the country. The implementation, so that we all go able for benefit. Eh? Okay.
Inside the final debate of the president in speech, different member of parliament them self been talk about this speech, but Radio Democracy go continue for updates the public, but the difference in them way happen at parliament during this debate. For the society, for Radio Democracy, Mena Usman Kamara.
One for tell Usman Kamara, thank you, and Radio Democracy. When I threw them here, you able for listen to this. So now so the team be happen na parliament too. Odrega can go from the Black Johnson, come to all waiting we hear. For Black Johnson, people in the ask say, wait to. So na Black Johnson number 9 we see for make fish in harbor. Whereas we get places them already. We get Potiwaf, we get Mabela, we get fish is na Mabela. We for able for expand. From that fish is there na Mabela day for push and go small. Say they go by Moaf end, like say they go Ataki. Because they get something and they did already. But maybe the grant they look for fresh ground. They look for side where they don't begin use or we go easy for use. But we they wait. I don't know how soon no more they get for carry this go na parliament. Not so? Because the speaker say, as soon as possible, make them carry and go. Huh. Okay. Just hopeful. Well, I'll be geek out to panelists them. Let me hear what thing they get for we today. And I so go begin come Usman Tolly. Make we hear Ion take for today. Welcome on board Usman Tolly. You get the platform, sir.
Hello to everybody, and I hope say we all do well. First, I would just want to express my appreciation to all the viewers them and listeners them will wish me condolences on the death of my big brother about a week ago. And also, I just now lost my sister again. So the past 2 weeks, it's been a difficult time for me. So I appreciate you now for wishing me condolences on the death of my brother and my sister. May their soul rest in peace. Moving now to the topic proper. I always they maintain say we get some serious concerns whenever we listen to the president in speech way they make in a parliament. And last week we begin debate on them, and I tell them I say the president in speech is sugar coated. And most of the words them when they use, they are inaccurate. Today, we don't listen to Honorable Abu Kabo of constituency 077 Naput Local District. We now all listen to the audio. We get a number of extracts we make from the 2018 presidential speech now where the president make in a parliament to this current one we just passed. He make a number of extracts for just show the evidence of how the speech way the president may make in a parliament are sugar coated. And most of the things them way highlight, they are true. We not see them things and they happen. We not see those things have happened. This is why we continue for express concerns on the president, the one way they supply the president information that I'm talking about the ministries, the department, and agencies, that the information where they give to the president has to be substantiated. Therefore, the kind of parliament for can defend some of them speeches. We don't argue that. Then, one thing I want to say now, yeah, we all listen to Honorable Tawa. Of course, Honorable Tawa, now man where they don't shield in the parliament. They're not being considered again. But I think that this time round, they get the chance because he can't defend the president in speech. So they get the floor for they express your view. It's a shame. Talent the Western Parliament. A man where they challenge on issues, then they don't get on the platform for they express your own opinion. But I'm a little bit critical about the figures because I familiarized myself with the president in 2018 speech we make in the parliament. And this is why, when you need to read something, you have to be careful because sometimes when you don't do something, sometimes you will come back, it can bet you. The reason why I say this, I look at the president in speech, and I will quote from him what the president will say quickly. Yeah? The president he said the current debt situation is unsustainable and constitute a critical risk to effective budget management. He said as at March 2018, external debt stood at $2 billion. $2 billion US dollar. And this is coming from the president in your mouth. And if you think about it, it stood $2 billion US dollar. That's not the external debt, which is compatible to what the Honorable Abdul Kabo say. I mean, $2 billion, you're looking at about around 19 trillion leons. If you're familiar with those figures, you're looking at about 19 trillion leons, which exactly what in Honorable Abdul Kabo say. By Taiwan loan submission, they talk about $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. I did the discrepancy between Kansai. But this is what do they talk? Maybe then 10 and there, it just want to make the figure big. Because, then they take over, then they try for talk, say, the external debt, where they get a big. So they give me a figure where a little bit exaggerated, I would say. When I make a talk, say sometimes today, you have to be careful. If they say something today, it will come back later, it can haunt you. Yeah? Maybe they give you a round figure. We don't know. But $2 billion external debt is almost about 19 trillion leons. It's almost 19 trillion leons. I think Honorable B. Kabo, in that respect, I think it's right. And then the same president talks, say, the domestic debt now 4.9 trillion loans, which is equivalent to $636.4 million then. So that was the situation then. So although Tawa, they argue on the basis of what he figure, what he present as a figure, maybe you don't see on some side, but that was what the president said then. Yeah? And then talk about the real economic growth. I don't know whose side, because I think the audio skip some part, but then talk about economic growth. Where I know say Tawa get them right, because I look at the speech as well, that 2018 speech. We know say in 2016, the growth rate was 6.3%. Yeah? Then it fall under an Eskroma in 2017, it fall to 3.5%. Due to mining, the slowdown in mining activities. Slowing down in mining activities, the price of iron ore before at the market as well. So as a result, the growth rate been fall. So that is the situation between Tawa, what you know between Tawa and that of Honorable Abdul Kabo. Well, AAA, I go to Emerson Lamina. I mean, Emerson Lamina, we all know it represents a constituency, Nakono district. Yeah? But recently, it only make a lot of praises for this current government. It make a lot of praises for this government. All the time we open in parliament is about praising the government. We are not saying that, for praise the government, but what we are saying, let it be objective. Let it be objective. You go for, you're not parliamentarian, you did it for look at argument, especially you not belong to any of the two parties. But constantly praising the current government is a concern for us. Yeah? It's a concern. Especially you mentioned that AAA in terms of policies. Policies is a way of guiding state institutions, the government, for ensure they run the state according to lay down policies. But this government is known to, have policies, but the implementation, as you said, is a critical factor, where it seems to be missing in most of what they do. Yeah? So policy is one thing, but how do you enforce, how do you implement these things is another thing. Yeah? So I get concerned with them. You get to be careful. You have to be very objective, not subjective. Again, we are the Speaker of the House of Parliament, when Honorable Abass Bundu. Clearly, we know say the MDAs, whether they don't get respect for Parliament or they're afraid and shadow. Because when I don't praise all them here, say good things about ministries, say good things about department them, talk good things about agencies them, where them come for kind of Parliament, for can listen and defend what una say, then call una for can sit on a Parliament for defend those things, una no they can. There is a serious concern. Whether one, there is lack of respect for we the citizens, because Parliament, therefore represent we, that are one. Or secondly, they're afraid and shadow. Because when these things are debated in Parliament, then for the day, so that, who side doubt they were able to clarify on some of these issues. But on several occasions, they call them for kind of Parliament, for can sit down and listen, they're not they come. So there is a serious cause for concern. I think now in the Honorable Speaker of the House, they say, next time they will charge them for contempt of Parliament. They're supposed to come for the defender issues, especially when we see to a very large extent the speech of the president is sugar-coated. Sugar-coated. We need people where they prepare and tell, let them can at Parliament, let them can defend these issues. Again, we also listening to MP for constituency 86, both districts, when Honorable Nene Levy. Of course, he praised the Tamabom agricultural project, where we don't discuss now few times. AAA, we don't talk about that. We know say agriculture is one of the best way forward for the country. It helps in terms of diversification. It helps in terms of the bread and butter issue, because we will able to become self-sufficient. We know say in terms of country-specific advantage, we get agriculture as one of our top priorities. So it is exceptionally important that let it continue, let the government implement the Tamabom project, so that because it's a mechanized sort of farming rather than that subsistence agriculture, where it just a cater for individual families rather than the nation as a whole. So Tamabom project, as it stands, if they implement them, it will be one of the issues for solve the bread and butter issue. We don't argue on that. Yeah? But my greatest concern is about the fishing harbor project now Black Johnson. And before I go into that, I go just want to give them an overview of the issue now Black Johnson. For the listeners them, when they don't know what's going to happen about the Black Johnson. Two sides of the argument. Two sides of the argument. The government, the own side of the argument, and the other onlookers, people that will watch and listen, their own side of the argument. What are the people that argument? We get concerned. Yeah? First of all, it's in the hands of the Chinese. And the Chinese, their image, now Africa, is not too good. Their reputation in terms of what they do in Africa is not good. That are one. Secondly, Black Johnson, he gets some ecological disaster. What do we mean by ecological disaster? In terms of pollution. Yeah? Pollution with concern in the environment. Secondly, the frustration in terms of other ecological disaster. The frustration, the area where they go choose for do the project, we are very concerned. In terms of human disaster, people that live in that area, and they Black Johnson, now one of the attractive beaches for now that they go feature is between Toke and that of Kent, the area, very beautiful beach where people could go left for go in a tourist area in the long run, where it will bring a lot of economic benefits. So it gets human disaster. The argument is people then say that place they now sell and sell give the Chinese man them. Now that's in the talk. They say if you sell and give Chinese man, it means it belongs to the Chinese people. However, we understand first the implications behind why we worried. Yeah? The government say, well, the people then say the purpose of that thing now for construct a fishmeal factory. Beside they can process fish them. Why does the government say the land now for both them, the vessels them where they can anchor now the fish harbor? It's like a fish harbor. Then they use them as an harbor for vessels and for anchor, so that they will able to supply the local market, and then the rest they export them because they export them. Where it means say it will help in terms of exchange rate, because if we get export them, it will help in our country. Then at the government own side of the argument, and then secondly, more importantly, the government say a grant from the Chinese government. In other words, it's not a grant. So if the bill about it, it still belongs to Sierra Leone. It still belongs to Sierra Leone. So we get right over that place. So we do what we want to do. We will sell the fish, we export them. That is their own argument here, But the point where very much alarming here is that I think AAA you started mentioning this, and I think Green Scenery then talk about it, which is a civil society group. They released a statement where ask the government, for make the deal public. What in there inside the terms of the deal? We want to know, is it a grant? What are the terms and conditions? We want to know. What are the use of the land? Those are the questions fundamentally we want to know about. This is why I think they asked the minister for let go this thing at Parliament, let them go scrutinize them, see whether it's a grant, what is the purpose of the land. Those are some of the questions where Parliament they asked the minister for let go this thing at Parliament. Wait for 30 years wait for let them go scrutinize them, let them know whether we will get any benefit out of them. Because the bottom line is that we want investors, but investment has to be environmentally clean, has to be beneficial to the country. We don't want something where they can cause pollution, deforestation, where they frustrate the country. That is the argument where the whole thing is concerned about. And under Sierra Leone laws, before then clear they happen, we therefore do an environmental impact assessment. Then do an environmental impact license. They therefore do some assessment whether whose impact where this therefore get at the environment before they issue a license. So they have to do the needful. They have to do it. They therefore bring this thing, table on a Parliament, they deliberate on them, they look at the pros and cons, and then decide whether it's worth having this project. Now with beautiful beaches and one of the best beaches in the whole Ghana country. That is the argument behind the whole thing. But the Parliament, the waits for let the minister in question come with this documentation of Parliament so that they will look at them and scrutinize them. That is what the Parliament they talk about here. But what are we saying here? To conclude, AAA, this is what we are saying. Parliament are the most powerful institution in the state. Make no mistake. Because what you do, they get the power for question, for scrutinize on issues relating to the ministry itself. The ministers them. And for bringing them to Parliament, let them be accountable for their actions. They get the power for the department agency system for can explain to you what may go on. Then get the power for approve and disapprove some of these policies, some of these issues then where they go on. And Black Johnson is not an exception here. It's not an exception. You know, so I think say then understand this. They understand this. And I hope watching the Speaker of the House and you know they talk no more for the sake of talk. Therefore they try for discipline their ministries, yeah, their agencies, yeah, for make sure say they follow the needful for let them able, you know, check the excesses of the government. Arguably, this government will argue on Honorable Abdul Kagbo in submission. They will argue on in submission, say COVID-19 get impact. Whether that argument they go all water is another matter. Because we have heard from the government side of the story. Say some of them policies, yeah, some of them things are where them is supposed to undertake. Yeah? Sure as what in your highlight so, then slow and down due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That is the argument. Because when the COVID-19 kick in, what in the government been planned for do substantially will be affected. I have to be honest there. Substantially. This is why when this COVID-19 kick in, they can what in and call the supplementary budget. The supplementary budget, it can replace some of the priorities then. If I not say they can prioritize the health sector. Yeah? Like things like the medical side, then strengthen them. More resources and devote them the health sector. Livelihoods. Because the issue of COVID-19 is about livelihood and the health of the people, the living of the people, how people can survive under this difficult circumstance. So that has been their argument that due to COVID-19, I listened to the other day, I think the president himself, I think it's a meeting where they interview him, he extensively argues, say, some of the policies, some of the things, they not be able, you know, they face some serious challenges due to COVID-19. But other people will argue also that they get a lot of support from the external bodies, just as the World Bank. We all know they get substantial amount from the World Bank, from the European Union, IMF, a lot of support. We worth over 44, I think about 44 million, something close to, I've forgotten the figure. I've forgotten the figure, but they get substantial amount support from their external organizations here. So the argument has to be balanced. Whether this money we then get, then put her in the correct use is another matter. So AAA, this argument is substantial in the sense that no matter how you look at them, the president in his speech is being sugar-coated, completely sugar-coated, right from the start, right from the beginning, where a kind of power, until we say external debt was about $2 billion. I have it on record. I get the president's speech with me while he talk. I get him. So I will stop here. I'll give chance to other panelists. Then thank you very much, AAA, and thanks to everybody who did listen. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman Tholi.
Thank you.
That's now Usman Tholi in your submission for today. Parliament don't close the debate on the president's speech, and that one day we lay na table today. Let's come with doctor. Make we hear waiting doctor in get for we today. Welcome on board, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo. You get the platform.
Yes, hi, good evening, everybody, and I hope everybody did do well. Good morning to many others. Thanks to you, and thanks to Usman Tholi for your submission, and to the listeners and viewers. And first, I want to start for say, we condolences to the Tully family and the entire household, and for waiting, it go through, in terms of losing a brother and a sister. If you've gone through things like that, you can relate and how sad it is. And we really pray and hope, say, it will get the courage and the strength for move on and accept the loss and continue for pray for them. May their soul rest in perfect peace. That said, for me, briefly on today's topic, as really, with the Black Johnson, or with the way Parliament, don't try for begin to ask questions as to how, you know, state money or the country money in how then they use them we come to the budget, whether they put caps them in terms of who say you for spend and if the fiscal year don't start and who say end within that you amount for spend. Let them they really take that very seriously and ensure say people then they become accountable for how money or how then they use the budget when they allocate to them for specific use in the country. Because overspending on things that are not necessary and then trying for begin to categorize them or try for claim say because of the economy and begin to pinpoint here say, well, would they do this, maybe not make would they spend this much money, make no sense. I think, the budget for the day for say, what, it's for this. The one that we then get for use for emergency use down the back day. And the reason for those emergency use get clear indication as to now this not the only reason why for use and this not the only reason why you budget for exceed this amount. And the one that we're in charge of this money in the country get for really sit down and ask themselves, are we generating income for us to really spend beyond our means? Because what I see they happen in our country, we spend beyond we means. If we not get any way for import goods, for export things rather than just for the import goods and services to the country, how do we expect to generate funds or generate money for the country to continue to grow? You get for be able for buy and sell, or always they try for sell. But if you they all the time, not buy no more, they buy, they sell what you they make, then it's gonna be very difficult for make we grow. And we only talk about this now, so Salon need a way for the export the goods and services them, for the plants, things where we be say you go manufacture. We don't manufacture in your own country, go be able for even sell those products rather than bringing things from another country. By one, you pay the shipping, you pay the port fees and all the different taxes them where they come with, importing goods into the country. So we therefore think like an economist for understand, say, you therefore be a rational spender, a rational thinker, in how you spend money for let the country go develop. We have a lot of things in that country. If we put measures them in place, I believe say it will benefit Sierra Leone as a whole, not to just specific sectors them. And we talk about this and we always go back to the drawing board and or even go back to the basics for say, what, because they suffer for light, they suffer for water, they suffer for, medical care. So then the other people then when they go through you barely they look say, I was once in need of these things. I was once that person, that citizen where they always say, what if I become a president or I become a leader or a councilman or parliamentarian? These are the things then where I would change, what I would work for, what I would advocate for. So I hope say then they remind themselves, because sometimes when they make something, it go wrong and it go wrong, sit down back, let you reflect. Let you ask yourself, would they choose you or would they elect you for become a parliamentarian or become a president or any different position where you hold when a public office you don't hold? You get for really try and deliver the message, the speech or that vision or that, thinking that you've been get with you say, welcome. Now this I go do. You know, we think it happen. Me question always the we don't go to parliament or we don't take office. We think can go wrong. What goes wrong for them to really not deliver? You know, if you don't choose for serve this country, serve them with all your heart, with all the integrity with it take, and think about the people them, the ordinary people them, where they suffer, where they go to bed, then they wonder, am I going to have a meal tomorrow? Am I going to have where I'm sleeping tomorrow? You know, we young entrepreneurs them, then they finish school or graduates them, they want for contribute na society. But when one person hold one position because they eat this so much, they forget say get for retire. Or they forget say it only did it for so little and it need for move on. So that the next person will come on and bring their own vision and ideas them. You know, you don't need the same ideas over and over and over. We know say sometimes it's very difficult to adapt, to change, but people have to know that we live in the 21st century now. People have to be able to let the young ones come and then lead our country. So for me, there's a lot of things that can put in place for La Salon grow. And I believe say then get for listen and we hope say waiting they don't begin so for begin to question them as to how and where that money go, then for they defend how they spend the money and then for give proof. Not to just for the can't talk, but you get for give proof how you spend the money. Waiting at the development we don't create. Waiting at some of the things that we don't do from this time to this time. Because we still they ask so many things we don't hear it, but we don't really see the physical structure or this physical development or how it impact. You know, we let us say they now do nothing. What they don't do is just not sufficient for we country, because some of the statement there just not correct. So the word self-sufficient mean not like for use again, because where would they use something for deceive people then and not like for use something like that. So as far as I know, we hope say Salon for better. So that's not the hashtag. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aissatou.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Aissatou Kakejalo, your submission for today. You just a come? Welcome. We'll talk about the president in speech, where Parliament done debates done. But as time they go on, we don't begin from where he talk and self na Parliament will be don't begin and take Parliament back can sit down for talk bottom. You not go past because we think do. We all they get affected one way or the other, nas alone. Even we know did it. And I think say if we all see things that way we go want Salon in better one. Make we come with us friend. Make we waiting you get for we today. Welcome on board us friend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving me the platform. And I would just want to continue for extend me condolence to Mr. Usman Tolly with the family. And then thanks to his contribution and thanks to Dr. Atukake, new contribution. And thanks to all the listeners and viewers them. I'm looking at the two issues here we walk along regarding the loan, the economy, and the more talked about one of the Black Johnson. Looking at the loan, what Salon actually get, you see they don't incur lots of debt from previous governments, mentioned NYR. But the only thing normal way people in the try to look at say if people and say we can't help you now, say I see you the drown and they come, I can't bring everything for I can help you. And then other person they come say, oh wait for me, I go take the boats, I go take the safety net or whatever. I mean the thing we here for wet for is secure you safety from the water. You see, and then you go look at say the one way they even travel will pull you now, who's metal we use for lake and bring in the water out of the shore. But in terms of post the country, we know say things that they don't go wrong, and then they try to build them. People in the can, then they try the formula. Some people in formula only work because of deceitfulness, so personal interest, or some they go, they go deliver. All the factory don't affect the economy, so they don't incur anybody will come, get for go take because we will not get the GDP, we will not get how they get income. We will say that the mining sector, agriculture, to the give, so we for go loan. Then when they can do the development there now, you see say what if it affect most of the time. Now the methodology we then be used for lending money there they go, outside they need for go. When you look at the balance or the proportionality, how the balance that what you put inside, I therefore expect for let it come out. You see, you expect say, in this type of development for people in the country, you put inside where it is expected, it expand to a bigger community or bigger society, and people that would benefit from them. They get another one way you bring. Also now, one way that the whole country they profit from them. So you get the health sector, you good all man will profit, you get rules that way good. So that's what it's something they give them, but because of either the way due diligence not there, how they follow some of them contracts there, or how they go into the contract, they go see, well, now, therefore find a way for that will get something small from this. I would want, use that procurement route, go find where we go buy something, and go see that so it costs. Everybody they find the way, then the contractor they get back. Instead we begin to find delay, you have to get in your own way, not go able for pay the workers. So you see that chain work by the time when the work go reach for a stage now, the money don't they go small. Then because of due diligence, no they follow up, no they or the method when I use with a calculation. Say for example, what you wanna do? You may get a doubt some point say, what you the ways you know go do for let you go get that office day. But again, with the first way you get, they encourage you say, do this. So but they una come together, una just put the strategy, say person will sabi the work on an engineer or one about building construction, then employer may put every strategy within a certain month, just within a certain period of time, when I don't get office because they put an account to the end. So that way we know that once a day until another time now come, where it's possible so we'll move on that side, we'll expand on anything. But if putting the things in place with time, you get for monitor. Therefore, the person therefore be reliable because now they go, you buy the instrument, you employ the right painter, the how they cut the wood. You don't go begin they say this not because you don't make and calculate and you know see this and go take go yonder and so you get for outcome. So then like you know see that proportionality not in there. And that long-term effect now like go dip or something. Either they go begin and not finish or then begin and come out the way we be able to spread out for labor people that use them. So those are the areas we see other person they can and we say, well, we take up from here, then while we try to other things for impress the public, and then you go see now other loan they come, then go start them, develop them, then get the other one where they say we do mid-term or short-term. Something we not to something we they say we do them for let we do them for let you be longer and bigger. But sometimes you get for look areas there when you go look say now the area there go select say now they go do short term or medium term or halfway I begin and then I continue. But because you go fear say if I can't begin now, then other government will kind of continue. So I don't spend too much there. So all they have to there become then they draw here, the political arena, they begin to get that drama there. Then they go where people they go now, which they go always go link back. Like the judiciary side, when they don't make them put, when they say that the constitution. Then when they talk to the judiciary now, the judiciary is never going to come because they are never in the media. Because they ever see the judiciary they actually get and the media because that is the law and the minister information therefore come and therefore transmit anything there. Then what in can now is make your own picture for match with whatever they for defend them so as to be able to come. So that there be transparency not in there at times for say what thing we don't get. Now we don't use and this there or how much you buy this, we will just say the contractor don't come. So that's why the only hope say then will look how that social discourse people then will able for benefit from what in alone they go do. When I put on one side, when I expand. Say like then loan they already go take now. We draw and turn down to the issue of the Black Johnson. How are they going to implement it? We will able to know later how they were able to implement them. But we come to the Black Johnson issue where actually they go well because of the method where they don't apply for camp. it look like somebody where they observe some place where they look if now some place they look. It go they see say look people like say now few people no more for the interest either of person don't can lobby to them or they don't lobby to the show and say well this way I will get them and we'll get this there where they can remove them and so go profit from there. Or will they try for do them because one for friends something who will add to waiting for say who don't do. So all the things they can go for question is now would they actually do this year? The one where they don't involve the people away that the main parties them so like the tourism sector, the other people away involved, so they will actually say, oh me, they're not being consulted me. So we see say even the minister of the tourism they did it one time when they don't play for almost a week they repeat that particular sector, they say he don't know. They don't inform them. Then few people in the back they will they don't know. But the one that way they only know, like the one that way they do the deal within themselves. The one way directly concerned to the marine and the one that we come for can do this here together with people who involved in that ministry directly. So they feel good. So you see that area does not begin and well. But the one thing I feel for realize is that they don't get strategic pathways, waiting not for them not disturb the risk where the environment in they damage the environment, the ecosystem, how you get for this. Then they put this in there aside. Then they get people in back where they say, we are the one that will protect the environment, now we do this. Then sometimes they can involve them, but themselves they're not unified to get a sector, wherein then when they establish it, we will go further, we'll investigate, we'll look the marine, we'll check this, we'll get data, we'll look, we'll see all don't make up for them, we'll see this place, either it well for do, for them work there, or we will transfer the work other side. You go see that side they laugh. So it will bring me now for let people look at the area. Why the people now they can't get money there? Waiting there that place there. We not say in a place where they get endangered species. They get like the pangolin. The pangolin now is that thing will get that hard cover where it can fall so be like you see and then bokude. But when you check this pangolin, where they in that place there, and looking at the people who are coming to do this area, I don't say that pangolin and they go fish. But this is for say the occupancy of the environment. You know what they go there. A pangolin, then they sell the 1 kilogram of a pangolin meat for $200. And it go like a long walk because the Chinese then they use them for the Chinese medicine. So the Chinese medicine will involve in different ways. They can get the one where the actual hospital alone, they get the one where they say, because the pangolin is killed, and the user they say that they believe it help for blood clots, it help for circulation, then they get the skin back, when they clean, then the meat now is very valuable. So all of these things they just want to know them, why people in the camp, why people they want to come do a ship out here. Or what till we get there with the antelopes and they did. You get the sardine fish and they did. We get the barracuda and they did. We get other alpha steel and they were there at the place. But what thing they get for ourselves, now they know they try to look into because this place here we belong toxic. Now place where the ecotone and ecotone are the area which like always place that transition because of that attack the toxic. The one where they come on and the rivers there, where they come at the ocean now, the area there is different. Because that habitat there, it generates more of the what thing they make up that area. It looks a bit more of a good ecosystem. You get the plants, you get the fish, you get the animals. Because that area it look convenient for them. And when you look what is salon with the makeup from Musi, we know say the only thing that is Simbanden. But when you look from the background, we know say that people there where they come for fish, with them try, then they come try for damage them in there for let them go. So you will see say if you get one the way you have for build up for this a legal one day, we say they can't get a dry dock or do other thing. Let me find an environment where no go access to ecosystem because we try for build them, we try for let we not go destroy them. Because we get the mangroves there. Now they the fish then they go for go hide, then call and see fish bed. And then they go for go there and then they reproduce and then they spread out back. So now like the fish and then the fishing they take place more. And people in the camp, because Usai Salom God don't help we they just to the Atlantic. When you look at Africa map, so now they all that side there because we get our ship of inside the water they can inside. Look inside Freetown or the map of inside, you get us zigzag for going inside. Similar like a banjo, because banjo they get the biggest seabed So all those things are the for look you get an advantage there. Now for that people like the common farm for can fish because now then at the transition of the main Atlantic back for let it go from where you see. So all that one they get for one. So we just for preserve this. Waiting now we go able for guests. Oh, we don't think if we know how to avoid them, or don't see what to bring this. Now then you will see investments. Una they go take loan, una bring them. Now we try Nayaba. Instead of do other microfinance, other things. Because when we do this, it will expand the economy. People will get for satisfied. We will go buy a fish meal machine. When you buy a fish meal machine, fish meal again, if you tell you about fish meal, because fish is very expensive, the meal. Why? Because now even the given fish then, they only like Europe here, they only America, other places then fishery, they other things that they do, their aquatic areas then. Now fish that they use for them to feed them. But then they use that small fish there, like they don't go keep them there for produce, they use fish meal. Then they do similar one at Gambia. But this fish meal, because it absorb faster inside the fish. And the viscous, you know what, if viscosity, they absorb quickly, they make the fish develop fine. So it's very expensive in the market. So those are the kind of things. Do they know the worth of it in the market? Or do they just know, say, that the produce and the people and go, no one for nothing again? But if they know these things, a big thing, when they go for they find out, so they say, we say, would this 10 people are the council, not even sell them 50 million. Not put that example, not put them more. Or if they have the granted, then they can't do it, let look at the condition. But I'm not saying that it grants will not grant by that. Now something go down in terms of lobbying, the lobbying side that they will not see. Because but there is a lobbying amount who will not come. Then there's the one who they see, that the one who they will see when the country own this. So those are the areas who they get for the luxury. We get the place, we therefore develop the zone who we don't get. We don't know say yanda they will get the one who the Frobillion, the Fura point. Well, around that Frobe area, who the main city. We know last time they did the other place they would have useful. Yanda they don't make as a kind of a lifestyle or Western area Peninsula Park. Now the Peninsula Park that one day, what people like they see them not go look, not go see anything there. But if they get for transformer, when the traffic of that city, it therefore increase, it therefore change the pressure. And when you look at that is the effect of that one back, that area the water intake is different. It will cause the CO2 because when they do that in the machinery, we don't know if they're able to recycle the waste, when they therefore deposit back, or they get special areas where they will put the waste, then go through and fast. But we don't know if they get the equipment where they are eco-friendly. With every country they try for first forget now. But I don't believe they will get that. They might be trying to make it, but the one who they will bring are working already where it is not eco-friendly. So how will they continue for bring industrial things that were not eco-friendly, and they will expect the people in the side for support for long will stop the carbon emission to zero. The may be doing even under the other forestry business is doing under. See all these kind of things, this is when they come together with people that for don't look into. Because when them before not employ the people that way they do this environmental thing, it says that the ecosystem services that fit on the marine sector is very, very weak because of that chain work already. They're not getting independent sporting or people that always train inside the eco that environment something. We said that they get about 2 or 3 private people that will do their business Africa. Now they just go call for can't do anything there. So those are the areas where the conflict of interest back there. They're not even settled but then they try to waste now for going to parliament. They don't go do all that thing and they imagine now body go down go there, who side come up, God 9 no. But this thing has to be transparent, wherein them will able to see if the ecosystem services them. They therefore get equipped. They therefore know, just like you get that and the geology, how you call them the meteorology, the one who check for the climate, the weather and so on. What they do very well, and the only thing I think they do better than alone, those kind of things they equip them more and more. So now equip this other area back, we then will know about this, then we'll check everything there, then they can't give now. If one will go for the wage papers, we go pay private person, then one they come, then they no agree for the price. All those things are still the things that they fight about when if you go to parliament. So they are steps that get for the sake when they talk about development. they start from somewhere where in the balance the things they you dey get that fairness they so that satisfaction people then will get them in the end. And when you get satisfaction, then they get them enormous people and will know if they get employment, will they get fairness in this, or will they begin make this? Or now which is where they make the fish meal. We'll get that one day, instead of go begin the hire, they don't go buy this fish meal. The price is a day, even in India. When you look at the price when they can't pay with the money they don't loan, with some of the grants they don't go some areas. You might say if they before don't come here, then they get a good reflection on the economy. It might just be few days, few weeks, few months. Instead of that one doing that, you go do that immediate one. So that it will see it go a long term. So that was expanding with the expansion and they go expand or then they replicate in kind. Let's be more of a kind of a replication instead of expanding. Because when you try for saying you replicate something back, now the area now one day sometimes they do the error. Like when they do that water system na Badin. So that one they say you replicate the money where you collect it now. So those are not the ones the way you try to see for letting you replicate. Maybe those might be better, but sometimes you therefore do something very big. Now that change then you go add no one on other side. You see, replication is in there. It's very advantageous because you try to produce something similar like that one day. It has an instant like the behavior when the president we talked yesterday say give on it and make house to this. Then I think they extend them to other things. Those are the areas you go see you replicate styles to other ones. But when you show development, you look at things the way you go say, I will do something, when a big thing, not a big time, halfway, afraid I will come out, or then I wouldn't stand, they know will take over. So those are the things for the but outside they come out from the judiciary because in the law, wouldn't therefore change. The constitution wouldn't they go there for go argue, wouldn't go say that after all this, and then go link. Now that's an effect. Then the effect now all man, which we talk about this stuff, all man will say, well, because of this, we get right to do this. Then I will say, well, that word did not say me. So that's the area we have a backbone now. What you get for see people and get for drawback. In the end, now people are just get for vote. When you talk of proportionality in the ratio we do now, there is no way. The one they maybe wouldn't work for take, they don't get due process, and then go get the saying for say, una carry on. So even when they say you don't come, because of why? Because of we don't see some other things that will be don't happen. We might say this might be a change, this might be a different one, but with the fear say this might be like the others. When it means in some things then they override them because of the law. And some of the law now so is safe. What the rest Africans do because they're there only to study the law instead of studying strategies of trying to develop. That's why they know it's off-headed. Instead of sitting to know things off-headed, we will let that country they go before. But I only hope say they are not going to be the heroic type of rulers. They will let the people forget what they need to forget. And without they know say na psychological imprisonment, then they imprison the people them, and they put them in a boundary where in the mental state it looks so me. And then some people unknowingly they are not knowing because of parties and until later now it is too late for them to understand they have not followed the right route. So let them know it release the thing, let them let go, let them know they calm the constitution. Then they just forget about the constitution and look things in practical, the subject part of it. How the thing therefore appear in the eye. That's my development. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. I pray they are going to listen to us, even though it might take a time, but one day we'll reach it. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Usfriend.
Yeah, you're most welcome, sir.
Yeah. That's our Usfriend, submission for today. We want to say thanks to Usman Tholi, thanks to Dr. Isatuka Kejelo, and thanks to Usfriend Kamara for their submission. You ready to listen? Yourself get the opportunity now for make your own voice be heard. Today, Parliament don't lock the debate. We then debate now the president in speech we being given the 8th of May 2021 on the opening session of Parliament. 232 78 232-78-990-991 on WhatsApp. 232-78-990-991 on WhatsApp. You can call direct United States or United Kingdom. United States are 1-646-610-3107. Or you can call United Kingdom 44-739-803-04 That will begin to call us them, yeah? Yes, caller, they live on air. You name and who the call from, please.
Yeah, this is Boy Jala Jamboya calling from Norway.
Yes, sir. Next, I'll try for call the WhatsApp line because if regular call can now, then go try for pull you at the line. I make we just save that order one day.
Okay.
But you get 3 minutes, sir. What's in your own contribution?
You see, Sierra Leone is in a disaster. Education not helps alone. Education helps alone in the sense that the intellectual class of Sierra Leone not understand what they really need for understand. Now I make governments them not function properly. We have all these titles, but we don't really understand what we need to understand about what Sierra Leone is and how we should go about making Sierra Leone. I don't want to talk about the president in speech. That's a political issue. I want to talk about this Black Johnson thing. And it's not an opinion, it's a scientific fact. I talk as a geographer. We've been there, now university, I do geography. We've been to get geodata every evening from Landsat 3. And those data was given to the government of Sierra Leone between 1977 and 79 while I left university. Black Johnson is not about fishing. It's about mining of platinum. I don't post a link on our Facebook page side, it's in there, and I download them and read them. I'll give you technical justification that Black Johnson is not about fishing. Nobody in the right sense not to construct an industrial fishing port on a beach area. The fact that that area na Black Johnson, a beach area, means say, na shallow area where they accumulate silt and sand. If you get for construct a port there, you get for go meters out into the sea, and that they expose the port to winds and waves. We not make it safe for ship. So whatever the reason for Black Johnson is connected with mining of platinum. Secondly, the port area of Freetown, which is the largest natural harbor in Africa, it begins from Kisi Texaco Terminal right on to King Tom. Because on that part, including Mabela, etc., now the river Rokel, where we call the Sierra Leone River, from the point where he left Koya for come meet Green, now they in the flow. On the other side where the ferry then they go now Lunge, now the quiet area. So that area, the shallow, now I make you see, you get a long beach from Kupur, outside the ferry then the land, Tego Yongoro and beyond. This is a geography I know. So for say that they go do fishing port na Black Johnson, somebody is not saying the truth. And as far as I know, since 1930s, then we don't discover say platinum, did they? I want people them within at this forum today. Let them go on the Facebook page. I don't post a link with documents where they prove what they talk. The intellectual class of Sierra Leone therefore be serious about Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone has a potential for being the richest country in Africa, but education has failed us because we're not the research for know what you need for know. All man they pass and claim title, but we don't know anything. I'll end there for today, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jamboya. The phone line is still open. Let's have get opportunity for make we hear from you. You can talk about Black Johnson. If you feel so don't do well, then it's fine. You can just send today not to every day for spend hours, not so. You can just send today on. That will reserve the balance for tomorrow. The phone line not busy, so we'll say in the next 5 minutes we'll go close the phone line. I don't know if Black Johnson agreements gonna parliament, if anything could change. I don't know. Yes, it's good we want for say and gonna parliament, but what thing could change? Eh? This will parliament will get. Who stand they don't put their foot down for we? For say no. Yes, the Speaker of the House talk and say, he say they need for go time because Boku people they talk, the public they talk, and the members of parliament don't talk something. But the same Black Johnson, so they need for go with an parliament, which is true. But again, when parliament can they debate? Hi. No. I really don't know. We thinking in their mind as parliamentarians then. But something them go shock we, them go surprise you. This one. But we see they don't tie in a grant. Salomon for free thing. I want to know what the consequence get for bill. You know say na free? But na free. You know what they be free? A grant we mean say you not get for pay nothing. Yeah. Just like waiting Jamboree said just now. He say platinum did it. Hey. Oh no. I say na fish in harbor. Tumbode. Side in there, Funkia SFD. But no, if na that side itself they want go. Funkia, get pepper waf. Not to one green side and a Funkia and not to one green side did it. Get small waf the way did it. You know, say they can match the all in turn and one. Say no, na Black Johnson yanda. Oh. Victor Duarte say me for read messages name. Why is that the way to call? Victor Duarte, the thing where you write, yeah? Let me see. Now look for you commenting. He say Victor Duarte say the Creoles then ban them for making them not buy land up now the provinces. But then after they grab all the land because waiting to they want for displace the Creoles them from their own country. I'm not trying to say Chinese man there. Now mining job, fishing, and then fast in a salon. See, and because they know it in the paper. I will tell you, say, all man they complain about the attitude of Chinese in Africa. He say, but we still allow them for car inside. So that they follow that. Say, just the ASCO. The phone line don't close. Yeah, the phone line don't close now. Oh, left here. We don't try. We yesterday are gone. We hope, because according to what the Speaker of the House say, if they do anything at Black Johnson without taking that agreement to Parliament, well then they do them without following what the Constitution say. So we yesterday are gone. Even though he said they for can go, the minister for go there as soon as possible. That was 1 week ago. I don't know how as soon as possible I can look like in Sierra Leone terms. Because when you want to talk, you go salon, they say, I'm a salon. Now, so we they do thing. So in Sierra Leone terms, Charles Dennis Brown say, he say, what you make na Black Johnson himself? We'll get over 200 miles of coastline. Renata Mankapo say if they do anything to Black Johnson, he go broken heart. How we get chance? Well, let's see what will happen next time. Maybe Black Johnson go show up and exploit Tripoli. Let's see. But they how they make themselves right now, eh? Hey, okay, there they go. Anna Salon, says Martha. Today, we are here again, Honorable Tawa. We did 98.1 this morning. Look like say they need them for save the day. They don't see say not to be bad blood. They be fixing a bad blood, but they forget say time get for cow, they get for neither. The person will not be don't push. Stay for gonna do. Anyway, he's a young man with a good heart. That's all I will say. Go there back tomorrow. For today, that's how they lock the door out. Yes, it didn't grown. If nothing not come up, we have an interesting topic tomorrow. Salon. Now, for that image, you're not happy, no. Because you know, say Salon, the drama not the done. But trust me, no one for miss tomorrow, God help us. Till we meet again tomorrow. Triple say, tata.